appreciation to KCB Foundation and by extension the entire KCB group for inviting me to be part of this noble occasion. For starters, I wish to thank you for the relationship you have shared with the Ministry of Education through impactful and life-changing programs. I must point out that over and above the annual scholarships you have been offering to needy and vulnerable secondary school learners directly, KCB Foundation has been setting aside 50 annual scholarships for the Office of the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education in the recent years. These Form 1 scholarships have been instrumental in boosting the 100% transition program, given that they are offered to mostly needy students, many of them comprising those who are mopped up from homes after giving up on joining secondary schools due to lack of fees. It is my hope that as we transition the first cohort of CBC, competence-based education, class to grade 10, the KCB Foundation can consider continuing this incredible partnership with the ministry. As you are aware, we are now transitioning. Next year, this is when our first cohort of CBE program, CBC or CBE program students are going to go to the senior school. And we are looking forward to more partnership with KCB so that we can be able to tap on the talent, even as you build the capacity of the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, as a ministry, we are keen to ensure access to education for all. We have made significant strides through initiatives such as the 100% transition policy from primary to secondary, the competence-based curriculum, which emphasizes skills development and holistic learning, and the continued support to university and TVET education through the school-centered model. As we speak now, we have been able to put down or put in place the guidelines that are going to ensure that every learner who is completing their junior school is able to successfully transition to the senior school. Indeed, even as we think about the basic education, we are aware that the government came up with what we call new university funding model. Through the model, the government has spent more than 40 billion Kenya shillings on first and second year students, both in private and public universities under this program. Recently, and we may all be aware, the Court of Appeal suspended the High Court judgment declaring the higher education funding model unconstitutional, thereby allowing the government to continue rolling out the model even as the case pending before the court progresses to the hearing and determination stage. In the meantime, we have opened a portal to allow university students who wish to have their current loan and scholarship status reviewed to send in the application for consideration in line with the Court of Appeal's judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, the government acknowledges that it cannot fully fund university education alone. Public and private partnerships are essential to bridge gaps and expand opportunities, especially when it comes to providing necessary resources for this cause. We also recognize that provision of scholarships is the best way to ensure that needy and vulnerable children in our society access university education, which is in line with the Ministry of Education's policy of leave no one behind call. Over the years, for example, the government of Kenya, working jointly with development partners, has been implementing the Elimu Scholarship Program, which has seen more than 52,000 students from needy and vulnerable backgrounds access education. These efforts to address inequalities under the ministry are implemented through the Secondary Education Quality Improvement Project, SEQUIP, and Kenya Primary Education Equity in Learning Program, KPIL program, with support from World Bank, Global Partnerships for Education, and the LEGO Foundation. The demand for scholarships, support from SEQUIP and KPIL program has continued to increase annually. In 2024 alone, the program catered for more than 14,426 beneficiaries. I therefore thank the KCB Foundation for stepping in with this unique scholarship program that will assist the government in its determination to ensure that all needy children are enrolled in tertiary institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a pleasure to see more collaborations in several key areas, including expanding access to tertiary education for marginalized communities, scaling up digital learning through the provision of laptops and internet access, offering mentorship and career guidance, especially the STEM fields, enhancing support for persons living with disabilities, and engaging in joint research and data sharing to inform targeted, evidence-based interventions. Since its inception, the KCB Foundation has stood out as a beacon of hope, committed to transforming lives in the region through various programs. The education scholarships, Tuajiri programs, Mifugo ni Mali, among other initiatives, give the community at large the necessary tools to shape a bright future for themselves and our country. We appreciate you, the KCB Foundation and KCB Group at large. As we launch this program today, I wish to reiterate the key role KCB Foundation play in the country to complement government's efforts in providing quality education. We will be exploring more partnership opportunities to see how best to grow this initiative and many more that can come to life. This is a privilege that beneficiaries of the program should never take for granted. Your success encourages every institution to impact more people now and in future. So, beneficiaries, the scholars who are here today, let us not take the privilege, the opportunity provided by KCB for granted. Let us appreciate it and ensure we do our best so that we can have some of the most talented persons working for the bank or even working for this country and even working for other international organizations outside the country. Because this is an opportunity. Many people look for these opportunities and they don't get it. But you are privileged, you have been chosen, they have seen your potential. Don't squander the opportunity. Remain focused in your education and ensure that you don't embarrass the support given by the bank and also the country at large and the Minister of Education also. I commend KCB for its continued commitment to the growth of education sector in the country. Your deliberate effort to identify underprivileged students from whom you support to continue with secondary and university education is incredible. We must continue investing in education in our efforts to transform our country and position our young people on the path to success beside providing the country with a skilled workforce. At this juncture, I want to call upon other partners, other institutions, other banks to emulate this model that has been piloted by KCB. It actually works, and indeed, results can be seen almost instantly. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to share once again my heartfelt appreciation with all of you. It will be a great pleasure to be back to celebrate your various achievements in the fullness of time. As you go to school, it usually takes a long time. Whether you are in a 4-year program, a 3-year program, that's a very, very short time. So soon and very soon, we believe that we shall be here again to celebrate the first classes, the honors degrees, the brilliant qualifications that you're able to achieve even as you transit to different academic and professional areas. With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to officially launch the KCB Foundation University Scholarship Program. Thank you very much for listening to me. And
Thank you.
Once again, I want to wish you very well as you go forward. When I was going to office this morning, allow me just to share one more idea. You know what makes the difference in a world we see is how people think. Thinking is the most important component of how the world looks at. And when I was coming here, I was reading something from HBS. Anastasia and I know what HBS is. HBS, okay. And even the group CEO who did the Bachelor of Anything. All right. Ourselves, we did what we call Bachelor of Social Confusion, you know. You know that Bachelor of Social Confusion, those years. I think these days we don't have those kind of terminologies. Now, you say there are 4 ways of thinking, or rather there are 4 categories of thinking. Let me share my thoughts because, you know, I was in immigration and I didn't have anywhere to share some of these things. So I think I'm in the right place now. There are 4 kinds of thinking. One, and I think the learner, or rather the scholars need to take this. You have gotten the helicopter quality, which the bank so new. But as you get these scholarships, there are 4 kinds of thinking. The first thinking is what we are calling expert thinking. Expert thinking is knowledge-based and experience-based in a certain field. You are an expert, you are an engineer, an electrical engineer. Expert thinking is about your field. The second set of thinking is what we call critical thinking. This is where now you analyze problems and solve them. And the problems usually come in different forms. It can be a complex issue, or rather it can be a certain problem which you are given, and you have to critically analyze the situation, synthesize, and come up with a solution. Then we have a third one called strategic thinking. This is where this is a high-level thinking, where you need to give a long-term solution, where you need to you think beyond, think about the future. What is the plan? What do you do going forward? And then there's the last one, which is called system thinking. This is where you can see relationships, interconnectedness between things. And this applies, you can see the patterns. This applies to complex situations where you need to see interrelationships, interconnectedness, and it is more or less a sum total of all the thinking. And I wanted to say that KCB, I think, has combined the third and the fourth one, strategic and system thinking, to bring us here today. Thank you very much, KCB Group.